In this clip on congruent triangles, we're looking at the second type of congruence. That when you get a side, an angle and a side together. Let's construct two triangles with two equal sides, equal angles and a second equal side. So we now have a shape like that. If we complete the third side, it's bound to be the same length, and it is a congruent pair of triangles because all the angles are equal as well. Now if two sides and one angle are the same, then the triangles are congruent, providing that the angle is in between the two sides. That has to be. It doesn't work sometimes if you don't have it between the two sides. Let's just have a look at how it can go wrong. These two triangles, well, let's look. The same angles. Those two sides are the same. And those two sides are the same. But quite clearly they're not congruent. They're very different triangles. And the reason is that the angle isn't between the two sides, which are equal. And for congruence it must be. So the angle must be between the two sides, and that ends the mystery of why those two triangles are not congruent. Now let's see this rule in action. This is quite a difficult example, so follow it carefully. ABCD and DEFG are two squares. Prove that CG equals AE. In other words, prove that those two lengths are the same. Well, we can't do it directly. What we have to do first is to prove that two triangles are congruent. And the ones we're going to do are CDG and ADE. And if we can prove they're congruent, then their longest sides must be equal. Now here's the proof. We need two sides and an angle between them. Let's start with the angle. Angle CDG, which is that one, equals angle ADE, which is that one. Why? Well, both of them are this angle here, ADG, and each one has a right angle added to it because these are corners of the square. So each one is the angle ADG plus 90 degrees, so they must be equal. Those two sides are equal because they're both sides of the same square. And those two sides are equal for the same reason. They're both sides of the same square. So now we have two sides and an angle in between them equal in both triangles, and so the triangles CDG and ADE are congruent. Let's give the reason SAS. SAS means side angle side, and if you use this abbreviation in a test or an exam, it will be understood that you are using this correct rule, SAS side angle side. And that means that the two sides, the two long sides of each triangle, are also equal to each other, which is what we were trying to prove in the first place.